All right, Patrick. How about those Twins? Went to spring training, got all
Ooh.
these games in, played guys more. It was going to be different.
Different, yes.
Oh,
We were instead of getting us off our feet, it was going to get us on our feet, get ready to go to start out
yes.
the season. Correa looked completely disinterested, and Buxton got. I think Buxton's trying. I'm just not sure, but. Where's the goodness going to come from? The pitching could be okay, but the lineup is awful, and I don't think Royce Lewis is going to, show up in 6 weeks and rescue it either. Do you? I don't think he's not the difference maker we thought he was. But man, alive! I saw today's game in Chicago, evenly matched teams, by the way, the Twins and the White Sox. The cleanup hitter, I believe, was Ty France for today's game. So
Wow. Wow.
I just don't know where it's. I didn't like the lineup coming out of spring training. Just it's not the revolution that I said that, but I was saying this to everybody. I don't like the lineup, and then after seeing them for the first three games in St. Louis, it was terrible. You know what we found out about modern baseball though, with these. It was all home runs, and obviously the Yankees are showing that it can still be. But they're taking advantage of these running game rules. Incredible, aren't they? I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
teams are just stealing base. Nobody ever throws anybody out anymore. They don't have a chance because the guy, has already thrown over there once. He doesn't want to throw over there twice, and the Cardinals just ran whenever they wanted to against the Twins. So I'd hate to be a catcher in modern baseball trying to throw some of these guys out and have people comparing your percentage to former days because it's a completely different game, and some teams are just decided they don't have the expensive roster anymore, so they're just going to run instead of
Yeah.
hit home runs. So, and that's what the Cardinals did. We just couldn't handle Lars Nootbaar. That was one of the problems too. I'd love to have a team that had Lars Nootbaar as a
He's
name
a
on it.
hell of a
Don't you?
player now.
He's a good player.
He's turned
Yes, he
himself into
is.
a nice player.
Hmm. Yeah, I just don't know where you go from there. But as I said this on Blue Sky, not Twitter. I'm off Twitter. I'm on. I can look at my account, but I'm not commenting. Okay,
Okay.
but uh, the on Blue Sky, the Cardinals just you know were the pessimism almost approached our pessimism, and now 3 days later, look out, we might be pretty good. We might be better than we thought we were. So
And they're back to playing old school, it feels like Cardinals baseball.
yeah,
Good defense and
yep.
stealing bases.
Not like the old days when they had all the pesky guys, as the famous Whitey Herzog story when. Whitey was a different kind of cat, and he was a big buddy of the late great Ricky Hummel, and he and Ricky would maybe sitting in the office before BP and have a beer or two and just shoot the breeze, right? You don't do that with Rocco. You
With
don't go in
Rocco,
and
you
say,
don't
"Hey,
have a couple of beers.
Rocco, let's have a couple of beers." And but on the famous story, a friend of mine was in there with him on draft day, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and the Cardinals. This was the Cardinals, the run Cardinals, no power at all, just before McGuire, Vince Coleman, and the whole crew, and and the Whitey. So Hummel and the other guy, who are you going to draft? Who the Cardinals going to draft today? And he said, I don't know. They probably like this pesky guy from Florida State. They got a pesky guy down there. We like those pesky guys. And so the hour later, the PR guy walks by and he said, "Who'd we draft?" And he said, "Luis Alicia, the lineman, the infielder from Florida State or something." He said, "Yep, pesky guy. We
Pesky
drafted a
guy.
pesky guy." So they were pesky back in the Vince
Oh,
Coleman
God,
days.
yeah.
That's for sure. That's for sure. But I don't know. You know who I'm worried about? Our guy Lavelle, picking him to win 88 games. This is one of the leading experts, a baseball writer of great seniority. Probably someday a baseball Hall of Famer in the writing department. picking this team to win 88 games. I want to see what he's been doing. What has
What
happened to
Lavelle's
his
been doing?
mind? Yeah, what does he think that where did this come from? Who could possibly look at this collection and think they're going to win 88 games? I actually thought Suen's column was pretty good today. It was uh, uh, questioning. No, that was the other Sunday or over the weekend. Questioning Pablo was.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a better Pablo, and there was. Well, his season was good last year, right? But he had long stretches where he was not dominant. I mean, he's I think he's an ace in the sense that one thing we when we start qualifying aces, it ends up being about 5 pitchers in the entire major league.
Right.
So he's a number one starter, but he's not a
Correct.
not a if he's going against the real Garrett Cole back then, and the teams are equal, you're going to be a 5-2 underdog or something like that. So anyway, yeah,
They
it
got
was
one good start.
yeah.
Joe on
Joe Ryan,
Saturday,
yes.
because the Bailey Ober thing was a
Oh,
disaster.
yes, but Bailey was twice as good in his first game of the season than he was last year. Because last year he gave up 8 and 1 1/3,
Yeah.
and this time he gave up 8 and 2
Look at
2/3.
you
So
for the silver lining.
if he keeps up that pace, it'll be.
Twins should hire you.
I don't remember that first start he made last year, and we said, "Oh my
9
God,
hits, 8 runs. Yes.
are they gonna send him back to St. Paul?" And he turned out great, but he wasn't throwing 90 in spring training. Apparently, it was
Uh-uh.
high 80s, and that was. I just you just wonder. You got to wonder if because he's the only 6'9" guy in the history of baseball that throws at 92 max, right?
It
So
worries me that the velocity is down consistently.
yes, yes,
That concerns me,
yeah, it does
arm
too. Me
wise.
too. I mean, he was great last season for
Yep.
a long stretches, and I think he's a competitor and all that. But wow, that's when you're trying to fool him at when you're throwing a changeup off 90. It's at 80. I mean, it'd be better if you're throwing that changeup off 94 instead of
Right.
90 or 89 or something like that. That's for sure.
Right. And here's what I don't get to. So they said that he was sick as a dog on Friday, hooked up to
Mhm.
IVs. Wouldn't you given
Why
him an
didn't they?
extra? Why
Why
not
don't
just
you?
push him to Monday?
Yeah, you have. You haven't got that deep into your rotation yet.
No.
What tell the guy who's starting today to start
Paddock.
Sunday. What difference does it make? Yeah,
I don't
Paddock.
get why you needed him to start like he is hooked up to IVs on
Yes.
Friday. He can't move from his bed, and then he said Saturday I felt better. Well, why don't you allow him to feel a lot better on Sunday and then have him pitch on Monday against the White Sox?
And the other thing that offends me is who came out there and pitched his heart out? The Dauber. The
Yep,
Dauber went out and
he did a
battled.
good
They
job.
got rid of him today. They
Of
got
course
rid
they
of
did.
him today. They got rid of the poor Dauber. The Dauber, you treated him with more respect than any pitcher in history when you gave him the extension. And now you treat him with no respect whatsoever. You got your whole staff hasn't been used. You don't have to send out the Dauber today, for goodness sakes, for this White Sox series. They're being very cruel to the Dauber, I think.
I will say this from a business standpoint though, they cannot afford this start because when you're trying to sell
Twins
tickets
TV.
and TV subscriptions, you
Yes.
can't go in the crapper.
So who took the free TV option for a week and is going to renew after this?
Right.
Who's going to renew?
I know.
You know, I don't know either.
I agree.
You got the senior, you got the people my age who are wondering if they're still going to have Social Security. They love baseball, but are they going to watch this and say, yeah, okay, let's do this? What is it for the whole year? 199? 100?
No,
No.
it's 99.99 for a whole year of just the Twins, nothing else.
Okay. Oh, the Twins, nothing. And if you spend more, you get every game in base, every
Yeah,
game
yeah.
that's
If
on
you go up to
TV, right?
200, I think you get every team.
Mm-hmm. That'd
But
be the way to go. But who knows? I don't. Did you solve your problem yet? Did you get it yet?
I got it because it got added to Comcast Xfinity on Thursday on channel 1261.
1261.
So I'm
Okay,
paying
easy.
to stream it, but I'm also it's also part of my cable package now.
So are you going to then stop streaming it, or do you want
No,
all the other games anyway?
because I can stream. You can't stream games if it's just on cable. So that option's gone now. So because FanDuel, if you had, and I did, FanDuel on my cable a year ago, I could stream games through the FanDuel app because I subscribed to cable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now the Twins on cable is not streamable unless I pay the $99.99. So I'm doing both.
Okay, yeah, I'm extremely confused. That is
It's
true,
not
but
cheap to watch baseball. And
yes,
that's the Twins' problem is if they don't
yes,
play well, they're going to give a lot of people incentive not to care if they can watch their games.
yes. The people have already decided to be mad at them, and then watching this fiasco was not good. But and the other thing is they got a fighting chance to lose 2 out of 3 to the mighty whiteys, and then the ridicule. Then the ridicule will really start. It's
If you
I
come
don't
back
know.
1-5, Pat.
Oh yeah. Do you know? I was very surprised that this is only the 6th time they started 0-3.
Yep.
I think
2016 was last time.
of my youth, 2016 they started 0-9, right? That
Yes.
was that was one of the weirdest seasons ever because Molly they were not good, but the bottom of the non-top 4 in the American League was terrible, so they were in contention till the last week, and you thought they were making strides,
Yep.
and then they go 59 and 103 and set the all-time record for losses, and of course Molly gets fired. So I don't know. It's yeah, they got it. The game has issues and they have issues. What do you think of the torpedo
I was
bat?
going to ask you about that. Well, how did we not know about this? It's evidently been around, been used in spring training. How
Yes.
did we just
Nobody did
discover?
a story on it until the
No.
Yankees started doing home runs. Now, let me tell you this. This is fact. I'm having a hard Saturday afternoon laying on the couch downstairs, changing channels from basketball to hockey to everything, baseball. And I hear that the Yankees have hit 3 home runs on the first 3 pitches that they saw this season, right? So I go to the Yankees game and I'm watching the Yankees game, and Judge comes up for the second time and he gets hit. They throw a ball that's in on his hands and it goes out in left center field. Not the deep part of left center field, but not the shallow part of left field either. Where they start going out in Yankee Stadium, and it goes out easy, surprising even Michael Kay and the Yankee guys.
Yep.
And I'm saying, oh my God, this ballpark is so chintzy that even when you make a good pitch, he's going to hit a home run.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I find out about the torpedo bat and then he claims that he's not using it.
Judge isn't
But I,
using it.
but
Yep.
I was watching a YouTube video from this guy and former pitcher. I'm not sure who it is. 2.5 minutes,
Yep.
and he's going on and he says that he's using it on that, and he said, just look, he's using that bat.
Ooh.
So he said, that Judd is like maybe only against certain pitchers or something, but he said he was using that bat too. So at least a version of that bat. But it's astounding how this came up. Volpe, they love him. They want him to be their shortstop for 15 years, like Derek Jeter.
Mm-hmm.
But he jammed himself all last season. He was terrible. He was hitting 180 the first 2 months, and he end up he'd have a good looking swing, and it looked like he jammed himself. So what do? Do you try to fix him, or do you go to the scientist and say,
Yep.
we need more wood down here at the bottom of the
Yeah.
bat where this clown keeps up jamming himself? And so they invent the torpedo bat. What do you think Manfred's going to do about the torpedo bat?
They checked with
Nothing.
baseball. Baseball said as long as because it moves the barrel down, but it doesn't
Yes.
create two barrels.
No. And here's what they gotta. they almost, you're going to, as a pitcher, you got to go into every game with two game plans.
Pitch away,
You know, you
pitch
know,
away to the
get a
torpedo
guy
bat.
out away,
Yep.
and then for 100 years, you want to get in a guy's kitchen, right? Now you
Yep.
don't want to get in his kitchen because he might hit a home run.
Right.
It's
Especially there
yes. Oh God,
because
yes.
that ballpark is so
That
easy.
ballpark is ridiculous. More so in right field than left field. Although left field down the line has always been
But
cheap
that
too.
bat, Pat, looks like a mallet, right? Because
Yes,
like the barrel's down towards you, so it looks like a mallet that's just used to basically sock the
yes,
ball.
yeah, and it's just a little quick swing, and I'm sure the pitchers union is saying, what am I supposed to do here?
But how did we miss this?
I don't
This
know.
is my question.
Were the
Correa
Yankee,
said,
were the Yankee writers writing about it or something? I don't know.
Bellinger said that he toyed with one with the Cubs last year, but didn't use it. Correa said it's been around in spring training.
Nah, I don't think it's this version has been around.
I don't
No,
know.
maybe. Well, they supposedly developed it by going to the scientists to, I don't know. Are they Louisville Sluggers? What are they?
I don't know.
Who's
I
making
think
them?
so.
Do we know?
I don't know. But there's a whole story here about
I
this.
don't.
Like, there's more to it.
You know who I feel sorry for though? The parents of these precocious 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old kids who are going to want to have $175 torpedo
Oh,
bat now.
175 is probably cheap, Pat.
Yes. Well, most of them are using metal anyway, or a version of metal. So
Yeah.
maybe it won't. Yeah, I guess it's basically the aluminum bat. It's a version of that because you can, the aluminum bat always you could get jammed and still hit a double. But it's if baseball didn't have enough problems with the advantages we felt that the Dodgers and the Yankees had. Now this, they
Yes.
go and hit 15 home runs, the most ever in an opening series. The first three pitches that Nelson, their former last year's opening day starter for the Yankees,
Nestor Cortez,
Nelson
right?
Cortez,
Yeah.
3 pitches, 3 homers. Um, and the Brewers go limping home for their season opener today, 0-3, having given up how many? They gave up 20, 30,
They gave up
30,
20 on Saturday, 20 something on
20.
Saturday, like six
Yeah,
on Thursday,
yeah,
and then like
they were
nine
in the high
yesterday.
in the well 30s. Yeah, 35 runs in
Yeah.
3 days. And come on home, we'll celebrate Uke, the legacy of Uke, and last season's fine year. And here's manager of the year, Pat Murphy, who they can't get anybody out.
So is this the latest offensive gizmo since the juice ball started? Because like the
Yeah,
juice
it
ball came out
probably
of
is.
nowhere again. Like we didn't
Yeah,
know,
this.
hey, the balls look like they're going out easier.
No, well, we wanted home runs, you
Right.
know, and
But I'm saying,
then we decided we didn't. Then we decided we wanted more movement in the game, more stolen bases and things
yeah.
like that.
But is baseball
Uh,
okay with this? Because it's going to create like I will say this.
Conversation. It's going to create conversation.
There seems to be a feeling, not incorrectly, that with how hard pitchers throw now,
Yes,
they'd probably have to get more offense back in the game.
yes, that's what I was thinking too. But yeah, the pitchers seem to have the great advantage, but still, I just don't think the game was intended to have people getting hit on the knuckles and hit home runs. That's not the way the game is played. If you make a very good pitch, you should not see the ball sail out of a chintzy. What they should do is tell the Yankees, you're going to have to play your home games at Citi Field until you do something about right field in Yankee Stadium because you got to. I don't care how many thousands of seats it costs you. You got to move the right field back at least 20 feet. It's when they were designed. Doesn't baseball come around and do anything
I
to
think there's
when
a I
people design? They got to do they got to do in right field what the Orioles did. Just cut out a big hump and push everything back. Have a big high wall
so
there.
Baltimore now has a shorter fence again, But
Yeah.
they still. But explain this to me.
They
They
got the
still.
sidewall, right?
Yes.
Still, I don't
Who
know.
allowed the sidewall?
I don't know.
It's the
'Cause
stupidest, most dangerous, unnecessary thing I've ever seen.
and it's they wanted to do it, and they, with the Angeleses who were the owners, were, what's the cheapest way we can do this,
It's
and now
this.
they got the new owner,
It
but
just juts out.
yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, I'm surprised I'm surprised dozens of players didn't do the old, you know, what was who was the guy that the coyote who kept running, getting
Yeah.
face planted in the cartoons. I was surprised that was he would have they would have designed that ballpark for the crazy coyote who kept getting, what was the coyote's name? Give me the coyote's name.
Wiley
Wile E.
Coyote.
Coyote. Wile E.
Yeah,
Coyote
Wiley
very
Coyote.
wasn't very wily at all. He was a very
But
unwily.
yeah, you just smash right into the damn thing and bounce off it. I don't know. It's
I don't know.
ridiculous.
I got a hunch that Dave St. Peter, when he was a president, sold his soul every year to try to get a full house in there. And I don't think they made it last year, right? They were not sold out
Ooh,
for the
that's good.
opener.
I think you might be right.
They were a little under, but I hear that they were offering all in for $9, and when you get a
Tickets.
beanie, you might get a beanie for
Oh,
the
I don't know about
opener.
that, but they definitely. I saw the last thing I saw was $9 tickets.
Wow.
Well,
And
I mean, and this is now all on Derek Falvey's plate. That's the interesting thing.
yes, yes, it
He's
is.
in charge of
And
everything now.
yep, including Ty France hitting fourth.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
wow.
Hey, the Timberwolves. Did you see the
I
scrap?
missed the fight. I
The
watched the
Pistons. It was like
replay.
the old days, Pat.
I gotta tell you, you're not gonna believe this, but I was watching Boston College and Denver play hockey because I wanted to see. Here's the
Z Booyam.
hockey is so confusing that even a guy with a 5-letter last name, you can't pronounce it.
Booyam.
Booyam. I had to text Sarah McClellan after I looked at it. I said, "How do we pronounce it? Is it Zeev or Zeb?"
Z
Zeev. It's got an
Booyam.
extra E. Zeev
Z
Booyam.
Booyam.
Zeev Booyam is the man. Bucci, I think Bucci wanted to run away and get married to him. He loved him so much, and then he throws in the one from down at the other end to clinch the game, 3-1,
Yep.
and waves bye bye to the Boston College players, so to the bench. So maybe he's got a little feistiness in it, too. A
Oh,
little
I think
hot
he
dog
does.
in him too. But you're going to put him and Faber together. That's going to be pretty good for years to come.
And
Apparently,
I think the plan is once he's done this
they got to
year
sign him, right?
to get him out. Which have you seen who Motzko's lost?
Everybody,
Six
yeah.
guys.
Yeah, he's got to. How's his connections with the major juniors?
It
We
better
got
be
major
really good.
juniors. Yes, you're going to have to get a few of those 22-year-olds who aren't getting signed, who want to play college hockey. But yeah, I read something. Randy Johnson had something on their recruiting class, and there are 3 guys that basically are going to play another year of junior. We're going to play another year of juniors. So so it's going to be interesting. They got to redo it. They got to redo the whole thing here. All their good players left them.
Oh, it's incredible.
Oliver Moore and
Sam Renzel.
they debuted they debuted last night for the Blackhawks.
Renzel played a ton. Damn near scored a
He's
goal.
good. He's good.
He's real good.
Yeah.
He's good. But yes, Bob needs to go pull the old trick and just pull a bunch of 25-year old Canadians who are
Yes,
drunk
right.
out of the junior leagues and just
Yes.
come down here and whoop some butt.
Just pretend like you're playing. Just pretend like you're Union, New York from a few years ago, and
Amen.
they had the guys, 26-year-olds sitting in the locker room smoking cigarettes like Slapshot, and then and getting ready. He's going to have to do that, yeah, because he'll, who's going to be fighting him on that path up there for the major juniors? So my guy Hastings over in Wisconsin,
Oh
he's
yeah.
not going to take a year like that again. So they're gonna the NIL it hasn't been much in hockey yet, but it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
coming.
not big, not huge, but it's coming.
But this thing that you're talking about with the junior leagues in Canada is going to
Yeah.
probably be one of the biggest impactful things in all of sports because it takes an entire league and plops them into being, if you want, they can come down and play for you.
Yeah, if they don't get signed in the pros, they're going to
That's
come in.
huge.
And why did they decide to do that? Were they going to get sued by,
That's my
I
guess. Yeah.
guess? Because
Yep.
the NCAA, and I've had guys tell me that, commissioners of leagues are not the major leagues, but their only goal now is not to get sued
Yep.
because they haven't anything involving player rights they've lost. So they basically just conceding that. And I don't know what happened with the junior college thing at the D2 and D3 level, but on D1 football, the JUCOs, it does your JUCO years don't count for at least for this year. So all
Right.
junior, so
The kids
that's
that are screwed, absolutely positively, high school kids.
oh
Baseball, they're
God, yes.
screwed. Hockey, they're screwed.
Hmm.
You know.
Yeah, yeah, well, and college baseball is the same. These
Yeah.
guys they're going and getting every transfer they can. Also the ones that are out of luck are D2s. D2s are getting, the other tier of major league of programs. Every sport they're
Mhm.
just going in basketball and baseball particularly. They're just going stealing. South Dakota State's got four good players. Everybody's coming in and trying to not D2, not maybe Mankato has four good players. They're
Right.
coming in and stealing them, and
Right.
the South Dakota States and those are stealing those kids. So yeah, it's D2 athletics is getting ravaged by that. The top
It's a
programs.
feeder system now.
Yes,
Nothing more.
yeah, it's weird, man. It is weird, but. So, how much hockey did you watch of the? I mean, Penn State, what started 06-1 this year,
Yeah.
they're-
Godowski's a good coach. I've always liked him.
and they end up they go to the Frozen Four, and the Gophers are staying home, and
Yeah.
you know that wasn't good. That was a far worse loss than the national championship game to Quinnipiac because Massachusetts not nearly good a team, and this
Right.
you're finding out that this Gopher team was pretty loaded, but I don't think they had the same grit that
You know
that
what?
team a couple of years ago.
The officiating, which was not good in the Gopher game, has become a convenient excuse for
Yeah,
everything. They didn't
yeah.
play well from like January on, Pat.
No, they didn't. They had a lot of wait. Well, here's the other thing: you're playing in a 7-team conference. You can't lose at home to Notre Dame. You can't take
Correct.
19 days off because you got
Correct.
beat. They you know first of all, don't you think they should figure out how those tournaments last 2 weeks? You gotta. I know that they don't like they brought the Final Four here to the NCHC here for the last time in St. Paul and drew nobody.
Right.
Had terrible crowds, but the thing shouldn't. You know, the last two rounds should be single elimination so you can get the damn things over with so you don't have 3 weeks off, right?
Yeah. And Bob also found out that, as you've said for a long time now, the sport should be called goaltending.
Oh yeah,
You
that's
got to
right.
have like if because Soulier had a bad game in that first game
Hmm.
and it killed him.
Yeah,
If they had gotten, they won on Saturday night. If they get good goaltending in game one, you don't go to a game three and then you keep
North
playing.
Dakota. Yeah,
Like, yes. So like that's the thing is he's got to
you
go
gotta.
out and find a number one goaltender he can play all the time.
And he's had a couple of surprise him. The kid the 25-year-old that ended up playing 2 years ago. What was that kid's name? He was a backup, and then the kid signed at the good goalie signed in the middle of this and went.
LaFontaine,
Yeah, and
right? South
LaFontaine,
Carolina.
who ended up getting hosed completely because
Well, he never
Carolina told him that what he play one game, right?
yeah,
Played
he never
one
should have
one
signed.
game.
It
No.
was a stupid move. But then Close came in and played really well for played
Yes.
well for 2 years. But like this rotation thing, that's not going to work.
No. And yeah, they're you know, listen, when you're playing to three or four and somebody lets in a bad one, That's 25% of the game, right?
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
but what's your so it looks like our you're a while they're gonna end up with Vegas or Winnipeg, right?
Yeah.
And St. Louis and them are gonna go in St. Louis. Oof, they got Snuggy. Did Snuggy play yet?
No, no, he might play Tuesday night, but they've won 9 consecutive, and
Yes.
so I think that there's some concern about who do you scratch for Snuggy when you've won 9 consecutive games.
I was talking to Bernie down there, Bernie Miklas, about the Cardinals, but he said they're excited about having Snuggy. The Blues themselves and the fans. So yeah, you probably have to sneak him in the lineup, right? There,
Yeah,
but you know what they're
he'll play.
doing? You know what they're doing? Scoring goals. they've they've had. I heard Tony the Pony the other day tell me that they'd scored three or more in 10 out of 11, and then they scored a bunch. Then they beat us, what, 5-1 something.
Yeah.
We'll beat
Oh,
them,
they
and
waxed the Wild here at the X.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they're playing
In fact,
great.
that started. This
Is
streak
that
started here.
is that Montgomery coaching them?
Yeah.
Who's coaching them? The guy that got
Montgomery got
fired and
fired by
out
Boston,
of
and 3 days after, the Blues fired their
yes,
coach to hire Jim Montgomery.
yes, yes, and he's got a pretty good track record. You know who else got a good track record? The guy at Denver, Carl.
Yes.
The NHL must have tried to hire him quite a few times, huh?
They've tried a couple of times, I
Must
think,
be
but
a
he
good
loves it.
must be a good family man who likes
Yep.
Denver and wins games and doesn't have the big pressure that is involved. But he's what is it? Uh, three titles, and this would be their third in 6 years or
I
something
think,
like
yeah,
that.
I
And
think that's right.
they go almost every year. So, have you been out there? You ever been out there?
To
I was
Denver.
out there. I was out there
Mm-mm.
7, 8 years ago in their new arena,
Mm-hmm.
and which has got pretty much all the seating on one side of it, and it's a kind of a weird place. But they say the old place there was unbelievable. It was
Really?
fantastic. Yeah, the people just hanging out over your head
Well, that's like
and
here,
everything. Oh yeah,
the old place here.
Mariucci. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wrote about it for Sunday. I was gonna write I was gonna be in Fargo for Saturday, and then that didn't. I didn't think we were interested in Massachusetts versus Western Michigan, so I had to come up with something for Sunday. So I wrote about the old place, and I got the comments are more entertaining than the column because all these people remembering when they're hanging out there
Oh,
as
it was great.
students, and it was great. Of course, you couldn't beat being in the press box and having Tom Greeno having a few schnapps in him
Well,
and
climbing the
throwing a
stairs was
yeah,
dangerous. And I was
stairs,
young.
climbing the stairs. And my favorite sight ever, and I wrote about it, I just mentioned this, was they sold two seats behind the stairs. They
Yes.
were behind the stairs. And these guys, these two young guys, the hardcores, they'd run left when the puck was going one direction and one right when the puck was going the other direction. And they probably paid $2, but it was a fabulous, funky old place. And I didn't realize that the reason it hung over behind the one goal was that those were the seats from the basketball. Basically,
Okay.
those were just the risers from the basketball, and then the
Okay.
wall came up. So whoever designed that place originally was very creative in 1928 architecture.
Oh,
So,
God, yeah. Yeah.
and the fact that it's still standing, and the pavilion is, you know, the volleyball team likes it, the pavilion.
Do you recall it? It got closed down for, I don't know, 2 weeks in 85 because the fire marshal finally came in and said, this place
Yes.
is uninhabitable. You got to make
Yes.
some
Oh
upgrades.
God, yeah. The big place too was. I mean, yeah. If you would have had fire in either place, hockey would have been even worse than the basketball getting out of there because there would have been no way to get out of there.
And there was a ton of wood,
Oh yes,
you
that was
know,
the other thing.
a lot of wood in that building.
Oh God, yes. It would not have passed muster, but it was. I thought it was 90, but it was 93 that they moved
They
across the
moved. Yeah.
street. And you know It's like anything. Everybody loves everything old, and if they ever replace Williams Arena, we'll get all these romantic views of it. But hey,
Nico
speaking of
loves it.
not having a team,
Yep.
Nico's all of Nico, the three recruits Ben Johnson was going to get. Marcus has got two of them already leaving, and the other not. He's got two players. Asima and the kid who was redshirted last year, Grove. You need more than two. You gotta get some guys here,
He
don't
said
you?
the building's going to help him though, Pat. He said the building is a huge help. It can be a
He
real
was
advantage.
he was here with Clem.
I know.
He was here with
I was
Clem when it was an advantage. It was
correct.
full, but
Correct.
Nico, you haven't seen it lately. We never played Nico. Did we ever bring Colorado State?
Did Drake come in with him?
Maybe they did. Maybe they did.
Drake
I
might have
don't.
come here
Drake's
with him.
pretty high. Drake's pretty high standard for that Gopher non-conference schedule. My biggest problem with Ben Johnson was
Yep.
his non-conference schedule, and he wouldn't play anybody beyond St. Thomas. He wouldn't play anybody else
Is
either.
St. Thomas a possibility now? I saw
I would think so. I would. I mean,
Nico
why
talking
would
about that.
Coyle can't be stupid enough allegedly Coyle was the guy dead set against it, but you're playing him in hockey. You're playing them in every sport but the two basketballs, right?
Yeah, and so if you don't play them, you are basically saying we're so concerned that you might beat us, and it's like you might lose. Yes, St. Thomas right now is better. They've got more than two players.
The University of Washington, Seattle, had Elgin Baylor and was
Yep.
legendary, and then they basically dropped all sports, and they came back and they were D2, D3. Well, that's a Catholic school too out there, Seattle. And now they play each other, Washington and Seattle, and they're trying to make it into a rivalry again, like it used to be. It
Yep.
just makes no sense not to. You're not going to be Xavier in Cincinnati because that thing goes back 50 years.
Yeah, Marquette,
But
Wisconsin, but yeah.
yeah, but you're gonna draw people. You know what they should? I said this last week, I guess. First game at St. Thomas, new building. Gophers at St. Thomas. You get more pub than we've had forever on Gopher
And for
basketball.
Christ's sakes, don't be afraid.
No.
Like you come off like you're scared.
And by the way, you could hear it on SKOR North or whoever has the Gopher basketball games over. I have no idea where the Gopher basketball games are on radio these
It
days.
changes, I think. It
Changes.
changes.
So anyway, one more thing. The 1 week trial for the Twins. Do the Twins know what they're doing to the people who got the 1 week trial? They really do they really want to do this to their business model by
Perhaps they might make
everybody can't
it's a 2 week
cancel?
trial now, Pat.
Yes, right. Well, come on, give us another week. You can watch for free until we win a game. How about that?
It's like the Wolves. You can't sit down until they score a basket. The
Yes.
Twins, you can't unsubscribe to this until they get home.
Until we get a win. Yes.
I love it.
The Timberwolves, though, did we get the suspensions yet?
I have not seen them.
I gotta think DiVincenzo's gonna get at least 3 games because the thing spilled into the stands. That's
Yeah.
what they're not. And supposedly some kid started crying or some little kid that was sitting there.
They gave him a jersey. Nas
Yeah.
jersey, though.
Yeah. Well,
I probably would ask for more.
Nas uh, Nas actually didn't do much in the fighting. He just did the pointing, kind of got everything going. But JB was a little, JB's trying to bring back the bullies. So the bring back the Dennis Rodman era.
If I was in those seats and that amount of players spilled towards me, I think I would go to the floor, grab my knee, and cry out in pain till they take me away on a stretcher. And as they're taking me out, I'd say, "What do you boys got for me?"
Yes, right. What is this going to cost? What is this going to cost you, not me? So.
Yep. Hey, before we go, sell me a car.
All right, Jim Paul, Brett Paul, Valley Group of GM dealers. Hey, right now, go out there. A tremendous amount of stock. Still the prices that you know and love. Low interest rates and high factory rebates. Just what you want in a car's incredible number of SUVs ready to move, 24s, 25s, all different varieties, the Buick, the smaller ones, the larger ones, Yukons, and you also have the heavy duty trucks, the Sierras, GMs, which are great trucks, and the prices right now are really good, and this might be the time to do it. What we're hearing about the car business. So get out there, Jim Paul, Brett Paul. Lord take care of you. They'll have you in a car this week, so you don't have to worry about anything with the future. And anyway, I can't speak highly enough. I've been buying my cars out there for 15 years. Got the convertible back. I had the convertible stored for 3 weeks, but I'm back driving it again, ready for the 3 months. I mean, ready to have it for the summer once again. Great vehicle. And anyway, Jim Paul, Brett Paul, Valley Group of GM dealers, low interest rates and high factory rebates.
Awesome stuff, Tuck.
Hastings in Apple Valley, by the way. I should tell you where they're located. My guy's in Apple Valley, and then the other side of town, Hastings.
We will talk to you again on Wednesday.
All right, sir. Thank you.
See you, Patrick. All right, bye-bye.
Yep.